Welcome to Karatbars. My name is Howard Olson, and over the next few moments, I'm going to share with you what is undoubtedly the most powerful financial literacy program in existence today. I'm going to share with you how to turn your spending habits into savings habits and get paid in both cash and gold for doing it. But I want to begin with a quick question. When you think about most North Americans, Canadians and Americans alike, in a very general sense, do you think they have a plan to get themselves out of debt and have the ability to retire in the next 3 to 5 years? Let me ask you another question. Do you? And if you do, how's that plan actually working for you? You see, I've asked that question literally thousands, maybe tens of thousands of times in the last decade, and the answer that usually comes back is probably pretty similar to what you were just thinking. And if that's true for you, I want to share with you why that is, why there's no shame in it, and what we can actually do about it. You see, the numbers never lie. They will always tell us the truth. And since the depths of the Great Depression in 1932, under the Federal Reserve banking system, the dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power, while gold, the vehicle that once backed our currency, has soared in value by over 4,300%. We can look at it like this. In a typical household making typical purchases every single week, since 1980 to present day, a loaf of bread has gone up 959%. Movie tickets, 483%. Housing in many markets up to 1,100%. The simple postage stamp has risen by 800%, and milk has gone up by 257%. Now let me ask you this. Have you seen a 250 to 1,000% increase in the real wages that you can bring home in the past decade? I don't think so. And that's exactly the problem. We just can't get ahead of the inflation curve. This is why we're finding it so difficult to create any meaningful savings, get ourselves out of debt, and stop living paycheck to paycheck. Listen, here's the simple truth. It is absolutely impossible to outrun an exponential inflation on our linear incomes. And the inflation that the government tells us doesn't exist is very real, and here's the proof. We can look at it like this. If you had $100,000 worth of cash in 1932, that cash today is worth just $2,000 in purchasing power. We could say it like this. It takes $100 today to buy what $2 would have got you back then. Or we can look at it like this. If you had $100,000 worth of gold acquired in 1932, let it just sit, accumulate no interest. That gold today is worth a staggering $4,449,313 at the time of this video. Gold has soared relative to the declining paper because they keep printing it and there's no store of value behind it. That's what's called a fiat currency, an unbacked currency. And Voltaire said it like this. A fiat currency will always return to its intrinsic value, zero. So everything we read and everything we hear and everything we see says it's valuable, it's important to get some of our portfolio into gold. Hold gold and hedge yourself against inflation. But there's a problem. Gold is expensive. At $1,200 to $1,300 an ounce, many of us just don't have $1,200 to $1,300 that we can peel off and go get ourselves an ounce at a time to create any real, meaningful, inflation-proof savings. And even if we could, it's inaccessible. Many of us don't know where to find it. We don't know how to get it. How do we get our hands on it? And once we have it, where do we store it and what do we do with it? And lastly, it's difficult to use in its current format. You can't just go down to the gas station or the baker, pull out an ounce of gold, and expect to get change in return for your next tank of gas or your next loaf of bread. So clearly, gold is the answer, but we need to get it in a more usable format. Here's the solution. The solution really is just as simple as this. Exchanging our devaluing and declining paper currency for real gold bullion in an affordable, accessible, transaction-friendly format. That's called a Karatbar. We simply exchange some of our declining dollars to create a savings account, giving up a couple of Starbucks and putting some money aside in gold because we can now afford it. And at the time that we need it, exchanging these Karatbars and some of our gold bullion back into currency at the time we need it, having fully hedged ourselves against the ravages of inflation. You see, here's what we're really up to. Karatbars International specializes in making 99.9% pure LBMA currency-grade gold readily available to people of the world by producing it in smaller, more accessible, more affordable, and transaction-friendly weights. This puts gold within reach of people who couldn't previously afford it. Literally, we're making gold available to the masses. What was once a rich man's game is now available to everyone. And as affiliates, we're not really selling anything. In fact, all that we're really doing is using the Karatbars vehicle to create a meaningful savings account for ourselves and then teach people, show people how to do it for themselves, changing their spending habits into savings habits without compromising their current cash flow or lifestyle, and literally getting paid in both cash and gold for showing others how to do the same thing. Undoubtedly, this is the most powerful financial literacy program in existence today. And with our powerful 12-week leverage plan, you can save money, accumulate wealth, and protect your future by converting your declining currency into spendable gold while eliminating debt, accelerating your cash flow, and increasing your savings simultaneously. Now, this video was not designed to answer all your questions. It just can't do that. It was really designed to pique your interest and to get your curiosity. So my question is, did we get your attention? And if we did, here's what I would like to suggest that you do. Get back to the person who shared this link with you and tell them that you'd like more information, and they'll make that readily available for you. We have a ton of resources available, lots of information, and we just drip it in a way that it's not overwhelming. We simply ask that, listen, you can get started by just setting up your own free gold savings account. Yep, that's true. I said free. You can start with nothing. There's no fee to get started. You can literally just set up your own gold savings account and start accumulating gold a gram at a time at market rate. And then simply decide for yourself whether you'd like to create a leveraged income opportunity out of this, as so many others have done. I've spent the last 30 years putting together international and global sales teams and figuring out over the last 20 years how to simplify it to the point that people can use it and leverage it to do much of the selling and much of the information flow for them. And our commitment to you is that if you decide to come and join us as an affiliate, if you would like to turn this into a business opportunity, we'll train you, teach you, support you, and mentor you all the way to success so that you can do this for yourself, because really what we're trying to do here is set people free from the ravages of inflation and create a meaningful future for themselves. Because really, at the end of the day, what this is all about is creating a debt-free, financially secure society, starting with you and then with me. Thanks very much. We look forward to working with you. Please do get back to the person who shared this link with you, and I'll look forward to talking with you soon.